we'll be doing a story problem. So the story problem reads, the minimum number of carpet rolls and needed to carpet a house varies directly as the house square footage h, and inversely with the square footage r in one roll. It takes a minimum of two 1,200 square foot carpet rolls to cover 2,300 feet squared of floor. What is the minimum number of 1,200 foot square carpet rolls you would need to cover 2,500 feet squared of floor? Round to the nearest half roll. The first thing you need to do is find your constant variable by using the information in the first part of the word problem. So you see that since the carpet roll needed to carpet house varies directly as the house square footage h, so you would do n equals h squared since it's squared foot, and inversely with the square footage r in one roll. Since you're saying something is, since h varies inversely with r, you would divide by r squared because you have square footage, so that makes it squared. So you would have n varies directly with h squared, and they don't mention your constant, so you have to put a k in for your constant. So make sure you put that in because they don't tell you to do it in the word problem. And then it varies inversely with r squared, which so you divide by r squared. Your next part is to plug in the numbers that you already have so you can find your constant variable. So you'd plug in 2 for the number of carpet rolls, and you plug in, and then you put 2,300 in for h because that's how large the square footage of the house is, and then your k is left blank, and then your r, you would put in 1,200 because that's how much a carpet roll covers. So the next thing you do is plug in your numbers, and this is what your equation ends up looking like. Next thing you do is solve, where the next thing you do is square your numbers, and then you would take this number right here and times it to the other side. So when you times 1,200 squared times 2, you end up with 2,888,000 for your number. And then the next thing you do is you take this number and divide it to the other side, which will end up getting your constant. So you divide that side by the number 5,290,000, and when you divide it out, you'll get your constant variable of 288 over 529, which you can either use your decimal form or fraction form of this, but the fraction form is a little bit nicer and not as icky as the decimal. So what you do next is you plug that number back into the original equation, because now you have your constant. You can solve the next part of the story problem and find out how many carpet rolls you need to cover a 2,500 foot squared floor. So the next thing you do is, once you plugged in your constant, you plug in numbers for your variables, and the next thing you do is just to solve. So first you do 2,500 to the second power times 288 over 529, and that gives you 402,646.503, and then you divide by 1,200 to the second power, which gives you 1,440,000, and then you divide the upper number by the bottom number, and you get your end of 2.5, which this is the rounded version, and that's how you use a combined variation to solve a story problem, or to solve a story problem, and how to make a combined variation out of a